Hey, thanks for coming back for another edition of the Horror Debate. This week, we're doing George Romero without George Romero, baby.
By popular demand.
By popular demand, Dawn of the Dead, the remake from 2004, directed by Zack Snyder. This is the dude that did 300. This guy makes good movies, Mike. I like this guy already. And plus, he spells his name Zach the same way I spell my son's name, Zach. See, that's good.
Instead of the H, he's got a K?
Correct.
Okay.
See, that goes show you he's smart.
And don't forget, this movie also stars Ving Rhames.
That's right, baby. Big old Ving, yeah.
Ving Rhames as a dude who kicks butt and takes names.
We like Ving. We like him. He was in the new Day of the Dead, too, by the way.
That's right.
Remember? If it
right.
has of the dead, they call him first.
That's right.
And give him the option, you know?
You want someone to kick some zombies, you
Yeah.
call Ving Rhames.
Hey, man, you know what?
Matter of fact, you want to kick anyone's ass, call Ving Rhames.
I love this film. This was good stuff. See, now, you always look at me like half cockeyed when I say that I can't stand George Romero's films.
Yep.
Okay? Because you're always going, oh, well, there's so much history and there's so bad. I don't care. I don't get into his films. His storylines are fine. I mean, they're written fine. You know, it's just the execution that I can't stand. I can't stand zombies that drag their right foot behind them like they got a 30-pound weight attached to their ankles.
The reason why is because they are dead, so their muscles have dried out.
I don't care.
And
I
their
don't
ligaments
want to
are drying
see
up.
the zombies are the threat
They're
in the
falling
movie.
apart.
If the threat cannot move toward you faster than an elderly lady with a walker, I am not threatened.
Right, by one. But when they gang up and present a wall
When
of
they gang
teeth-
up, it looks like the senior center's on a field trip, Mike. I don't care. Okay? The bottom line is this. This guy, Zach, Z-A-C-K, fixed this problem. These zombies can move. These zombies can groove, Mike. I like this. Okay? And I love it because it's so visceral. It takes the concept, which was fantastic. I never doubted George Romero's concepts, but it took that concept, brought it up to present day, brought it up to that. This was made in 2004, but brings it up into that
the
that
21st
world.
century.
Yes, and it works. It works so much better now, I think, than it did back then. It's almost like you're watching two completely separate films. Because, you are, but I mean, two completely separate concepts. That's how different it comes off to me. I love this. My kids love this. Yes, I let them watch it. Yes, I'm a bad dad, I guess. No, I let them watch it because I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic. Well, I mean, Mike, I know I can see it right now. You're going to go, oh, but it's not Romero. And
It's not Romero.
And I'm going to go,
I
so
didn't
what?
say that.
This is how it's supposed to be done, folks. This is how zombies are supposed to be done.
No, they're not. Zombies are dead. Now, if you want to do the people slam 28 days later, okay.
I didn't slam 28 days later.
No, but a lot of people do saying fast zombies, fast zombies. No, in 28 days later, they're not dead. They are infected with like a super rabies
Correct, it's
kind
a
of
virus.
thing. Right, so they're still alive. There's still a brain working and a heart pumping. So the arteries are still, so the bones.
What would it matter, though?
So that's why they can run fast.
Oh, come on.
But in Romero's films, they are dead, so they can only move
Romero's films
because
are
they're-
dead.
they're-
That's
the
my
zombies
point.
are stiffening.
Oh, my God.
So that's why the younger the zombie, the more they move, whereas the older the zombie, the more creaky they are.
But you did notice, right, when we watched Diary of the Dead, that his zombies are like taking their vitamins now? You did notice, because he's noticed himself now that he's got to come up to par with what everybody else is doing, or it just doesn't work anymore.
No, they weren't that fast in
They were faster. They weren't that
right,
fast.
because they were younger.
Oh,
zombies.
now it's okay. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about if you're dead or alive or got a virus. It matters how young you are now.
No, not how young you are. How freshly dead you are.
Freshly dead. Okay.
Because in Land of the Dead, they were all older and slower because they were all falling apart. Because Land of the Dead takes place 10 or 15 years after Dawn of the Dead.
Right, which we're actually moving faster in that film too.
In Dawn of the Dead, 1977.
No, I was talking about Land of the Dead. You just mentioned Land of the Dead,
Yeah,
right?
Land of the Dead, yeah.
They started to move a little bit faster,
No,
see?
they didn't. They were moving slower because they were falling apart.
No, there are scenes in that movie that show that they can actually move.
Well, like I said, if a zombie bites someone and he's only been dead for about a week or so and he comes back, he's running around just fine because he still has fresh muscles and fresh ligaments.
My point is that if your zombie, which is supposed to be your threat, walks like a cerebral palsy case, it's not a threat. You could beat him before he could even touch you.
By the way, disclaimer to all the cerebral palsy people out there, no, you really can be a threat if you wanted to be.
I apologize. You don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying, Mike. I mean, come on. I was never scared of something that came at me so slow that I could read a story and eat a ham sandwich before it ever got to my neck.
Okay, well...
I just can't... What my point is...
Okay, what about Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator? He never ran after nobody. He walked, he took his time, he kept coming.
He had a shotgun, Mike.
He also had a semi.
He was a threat.
In the first one.
He was a threat. You look at Arnie and you go... That's a freaking threat.
Yeah, but the concept of Arnie was he keeps coming. You can't stop him, and he doesn't
But
need
these
to
zombies
run.
don't keep coming.
Yes, they do.
No, they
keep
don't.
coming.
You shoot them one time in the head, they fall like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, but the thing is, usually these idiots have a pump shotgun, bam, and meanwhile 50 more are walking toward you.
Yeah.
You can only take
but
out
those
one at a
50
time.
more are going at about 0.3 miles an hour, and you can easily run down the street before they ever got to your front porch. That's my point. They're not shooting at you. You're shooting at them. It's like playing Atari on pause. You can sit there and shoot them. They just stand there. You know, he made up the right sound for them. You know, I mean, come on, Mike. My point is this film was done right. I'm going to get back on track here.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this movie now, Jeff. Now that your rowdy rant is over
This
with.
was done absolutely beautifully. I got into this. This was bloody. This was nasty. This was visceral. You had bursts. You had freaking like limbs flying, brains popping,
parts flying all over the
parts. That was in our ad, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
Parts.
Pieces, parts
Yeah.
flying all over the place.
It was a good thing, and you could totally put yourself in a position. And like I said, the concept is great. Being locked into a mall, you know, with all
the
these.
concept was George Romero's from
Fine,
1977.
and I said that,
Yeah,
Mike.
okay,
I said his concept was great.
Just reaffirming that.
It's just his execution sucked. You know, this is what I like. This, okay. This is what makes my blood just go, ooh, yeah. You know, well, we gotta hide, we gotta run, we gotta hide, we gotta run, we gotta attack, we gotta run. Not I could jog, get a ham sandwich, come back, and that zombie that's still 3 feet away from me couldn't touch me. See, this is where I'm at. I love this, Mike, and I know you liked it too. Come on.
Yes, I did like this.
See?
Surprising. Because I remember when I heard someone who has never made a film before, because I mean all that Zach had done before was like videos, music videos. So a first-time filmmaker is making Dawn of the Dead, and I went, oh my God, the world is over. As
we could
know
be in
it.
trouble, and I had the same thought in my head. We could be in
because
trouble.
I saw the original at a midnight movie in 1978 or 79. I mean, I love that movie.
Well, I know you do, but I'm telling
I
you.
thought, oh no, he's there. But and everyone knows I don't like remakes. Do something fresh and original.
Oh,
don't just.
We
make
live in the era of remakes, Mike.
Exactly, and I hate most of 99.9%.
I know.
This is one of the exceptions because he did take a fresh approach to it, and his style of filmmaking was not where the camera stays stationary and it watches things happen left to right. He runs with the camera into the action. I mean, I felt this movie was a very brutal kind of film.
Yes.
Almost like my brain just turned off. The guy who did Hostel.
Oh, Eli Roth.
Eli Roth, yes.
Yes, Eli Roth.
This younger generation of filmmakers is not sitting back. They're going after making kind of like when Rob Zombie did Halloween. Yes, by the way, I still love John Carpenter's version, but it was a more brutal vision of Halloween.
Yeah.
This was a more brutal, shake 'em up vision of Dawn of the Dead. The first 10 minutes, I thought one of the smartest advertising campaigns they ever did, because I remember this on Fox TV. They said, we're showing you the first 10 minutes of this movie that opens up next Friday. Uncut, no commercials, and they showed the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen them do that.
And I went, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, it starts out where they're in a house, you know, husband, wife, and everything, and then they zooming down the street and everything. It doesn't start out the same as the Dawn of the Dead from the Romero film. The only thing this has in common is they go in find refuge in a shopping mall.
Right.
But the thing is, in Romero's film, when they go into the shopping mall...
Listen how he even says Romero. Just listen how he says the name Romero. But in Romero's film, like it's supposed to be, you're supposed to be reverent over the guy. I mean, come on.
In Romero's film.
See, there you go.
In Romero's film.
I'm just saying, Mike, he's
in
not a
George's
god.
film.
He's not a god.
In the old George film.
There you go, the old George film. I like that better.
He is old.
All right.
George Smith. Anyways. In the original film, after they get inside the mall and they barricade it, then you start to see how they are adjusting to life inside the mall. They're doing their things and they're having their problems and situations, and the drama moves inside the mall until finally you forget about the reason why they're there. Until then the bikers come in and crash out. Oh yeah, that's right, the zombies, And then you even start to feel sorry for the zombies when the bikers are messing them up.
Well,
you feel sorry for the people because they worked hard to do all this. But this movie, you always are aware zombies are around.
Yeah, but Mike,
so
Mike,
he
Mike,
took
Mike,
it
Mike.
and he twisted it.
Wait a minute.
Which is cool.
I didn't say.
Which is cool.
I did not say that the original Dawn of the Dead was garbage. It's not. Okay? What I did say was that I don't like the pacing of the threat, because the threat is so slow, it's almost a non-threat, okay, to me. I mean, you even play a game that's obviously based after it, right? And like Dead Rising, right?
Dead Rising.
You played,
cool game.
Now those zombies, they're slow, but they're not that freaking slow. Okay, they had to speed them up so you can make a freaking game out of it. Now imagine if you're sitting there just watching it, and you're not even in it, and these freaking things are taking forever to get from place to place, I mean, that's my problem with it. Dawn of the Dead is probably one of the stronger Romero films. I will give you that.
Okay.
I will give you that, okay? The problem is that for me, for this type of film, it just seems off-kilter because of the pace of the threat. I love what they did here because not only did they bring it up to date with the gore and the, all that stuff, which really, to me, isn't even necessary a lot of the time, because it can be effective with less gore. But the pacing was
correct.
Gore,
is that Al's sister?
Yes, Leslie Gore. Yes. No, but you know what I'm saying, though? You bring it up to current times, and you bring the pacing up, and suddenly I'm like, oh, yeah. Now I can see how somebody could be threatened by that, Now I can see how having 50 of those things staring you down 50 yards away, you're like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Uh-oh.
Yep.
Okay? That's my point.
But anyways, as I said, I like this film. The only thing that I kind of didn't like, and I'm sorry because it's a 21st century, is the ending. It's such a, man, you spend an hour and a half, 2 hours plugging and then at the end, it's like, oh man, bummer. And then,
yes and no. I mean,
it's just, oh man.
I didn't let it get to me.
I think I let it get to me. Why? Because I liked this film.
Yeah. What about the guy? And I got to mention this because it's one of my favorite parts of the film. What about it when they're like, the guy in the weapons cache place, the weapons,
when there's hey,
and he's up on the roof and he's giving them messages back and forth. That was great.
That was great.
I love that.
That's what I'm saying. This is not a remake per se of the George Romero film. This is its own film.
It's a re-envisioning.
Right, but I mean, they didn't even need to call it Dawn of the Dead.
No.
They could have called this, Attack of the Zombies.
But because they were in a mall.
But still people would take refuge in a mall. They could have easily said, hey, I saw a movie where they went in a mall. We should go there.
Yeah.
Boom, there you go. This could have been a fresh, original film, which it was.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing that I didn't like was the fact they used the name to get people in, but unfortunately that's what they have to do in today's world.
You know what I would be interested to hear is what George Romero thinks of this film.
Yeah.
I would be interested to hear that because I don't think I've ever read where he's commented on it.
Yeah. I mean, they did so many different things in this movie that it was not a remake. I mean, the pregnant lady with the birth,
That was beautiful.
I mean, yes, in the original film, the girl she announced, oh, by the way, I got pregnant, but she got pregnant after they made it in the mall.
And the real cutthroat
and that
style
had nothing to do with the ending of the movie.
The real cutthroat style of it, once these guys are getting infected, how they're just, they don't want to kill them, but you gotta.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, you really, you feel it in this movie. I thought the emotions were brought out more in this film than they were in the original.
Well, the original was a much slower pace,
My point exactly. Yeah. Less effective. This, my friend, is a 4-star film. I got off on this. I loved it. I thought it was just as nasty as you wanted it to be, but you still had great characters like Ving in there, being the tough guy.
Ving's cool.
Ving is the man, dude. And I hope he doesn't get in trouble with his dogs anymore. Last year he was having issues with his dogs. I like Ving.
Yep.
I had to throw that in there, I don't like everything he does, but I thought he was perfect in this
This
role.
movie even had Boyd Banks in it. Now you're probably going, who the hell is Boyd Banks? I'll tell you, he's that guy. Because whenever he shows up in a movie, he's the guy with the high forehead and like fish eyes left. But when you see him, you go, oh yeah, that guy. Because he's been in a million movies. And you're always like, oh yeah, I've seen that guy before. So,
well, you even had what's his face, Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I even had a
Mackay
shout out
Pfeiffer, right? He was in there. So you had a really good cast.
Yeah.
And it all worked together. I thought it all gelled very well. Yeah. I had a great time with it. 4 stars, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 stars. I liked it, but,
Yeah. But, of course, you're going to rate the first one higher.
I think I gave the first one 3 stars.
Did you give the first one 3?
I think so.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
If not, we're going to change it, baby.
But anyways, like I said, this... both of these films I think are kind of similar yet also different. It's like your left hand and your right hand, But you know what, Mike? It's almost the perfect way to do a remake. If you're going to do it. If you're going to do a remake, yes, I agree. Follow this movie's lead.
Yeah.
Take some general ideas, but put new characters in that general situation and amp it up a bit or change something around. And then, hey, why don't we do this? Start tweaking it.
Yeah.
You start with the copy, but then you change it and then tweak it, add new characters.
This was one of the few remakes that I can honestly say, from the bottom of my heart, you need to see it.
I think this is one of the only remakes I've ever seen that's on par with or better than the original. I think on the board we go to a lot, I even asked someone, and nobody could find one better.
Well, honestly, I really dug the new Halloween. I really, really dug the new Halloween. And I know you didn't dig it as much as I did. And we had a 40-minute dissertation on why we disagreed. Okay?
And now we've got a 30-minute dissertation on fast zombies or slow zombies.
And you have to, if you want to hear the Halloween debate, I mean, seriously, it's like 40 minutes of me and Mike arguing with each other. But I loved it. And I would put that up close kind of to where this is. As a matter of fact, I gave that movie 5 stars.
Yes, you did.
Because I was just so happy to see Mikey back.
You friggin' psycho.
Oh, I loved it. I stood up and did the wave 4 times during the movie, Mike. If it wasn't for Malcolm McDowell, it would have been 6. It would have had 6 stars. I'm telling you right now. All right, and Brady Bill or not. Okay, it would have been 6 stars. Okay, so
in case anyone has not heard that review, you gotta go cheers.
That is one of our most requested and commented on debates ever. The other one is Suspiria. If you haven't heard our Suspiria debate, it is,
check it out.
It's off the chain. So anyway, I'm really high on this. 4 stars, Mike. You gave it a 3.
Yep.
That's your final answer.
That's my final answer.
Alrighty.
It's a solid 3.
You got it.
All right, I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy. Jeff, we'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.